In the first few minutes of a disaster, information is chaos. First responders receive a flood of unorganized reports, social media, caller notes, and field observations. The biggest problem isn't a lack of data, it's the intelligence gap. We don't know where the resources are needed most, and more importantly, we don't know how to handle scarcity when you have 4 ambulances but 10 critical zones. How do you decide? That's the problem we set out to solve with Google AI Studio. We cut the scope aggressively to focus on one thing: decision intelligence. Our prototype takes raw messy text and turns it into a prioritized resource map. The logic is simple but powerful. Extraction: Gemini identifies geographical microzones from the reports. Reasoning: the AI analyzes severity versus supply. Dispatch: it generates specific briefs for human respondents. No fancy bells and whistles, just a direct pipeline from chaos to coordination. Using Google AI Studio, we moved beyond simple automation. We pushed Gemini to handle conflicting demands. We built a reasoning engine that understands if two zones are competing for the same rescue team, it must prioritize based on life threat risk. As you can see in our rescue allocation summary, the system now provides a global strategy. It explicitly calculates what was allocated, what is remaining, and crucially identifies unfulfilled needs. It tells us exactly which zones are still at risk due to supply limits. Let's look at the prototype in action. We input a series of reports. Gemini extracts the zone and plots them on this map. Notice the marker hovering over them gives us instant priority score. Scrolling down to our live zone, look at the conflict section. The AI explicitly warns us ambulance demand in the industrial zone exceeds supply. Because of this, it automatically generates a dispatch brief explaining why resources were sent to the hospital, and it tagged the industrial zone with an unfulfilled need badge so we can call for a backup. This isn't just about moving markers on the map, it's about making the hardest decision easier when lives are on the line. By connecting the Gemini API to a real time Firebase dashboard, we have created a tool that turns scarcity into a strategy. One meaningful AI feature, one working prototype, and one step closer to the smarter disaster response. Thank you.